All right, here we are. Well, I just woke up, so we are jumping into the second quarter of play, and I have been told that Craig is going to come join me, at least for a little bit. He has a match off from his Swiss, so he should be coming on shortly, but that's why I got the little earbuds in. Wow. I pulled up this table because we hadn't seen any of these players play yet in the event. This is Wolfson versus Bernal, and Wolfson seems to be running away with the match, but still anything can happen. Now, there are two sponsors sitting at this table. There is Wolfson, south, and Bernal, west, which sometimes does generate some pretty big swings, sadly. So the other table has Sima and Dubois versus Zia and David Gold. But let's quickly get caught up as to what's happening in the last three boards, because there have been 3 double-digit swings. Board 18, and then we'll take a look at the hand in front of us. At least that is my plan. So, alright, got confirmation. My co-caster will be here in a few minutes. We had a diamond opener by south. Looks pretty normal so far. West comes in with 2 diamonds, which I have to assume is Michael's. But 6-4 in the majors is not what you would normally expect from a Michael's Cupid. Double by north looks reasonable, showing just some values, interested in penalizing. 3 hearts by east. Maybe a bit aggressive with no high cards, but he expects to have a 9-card heart fid, and he's just preempting, thinking that the opponents might be on their way to a slam. So 3 hearts, 4 clubs by south. South just showing his shape. 4 hearts by west. I think this bid is probably a pretty big mistake. You don't take up a lot of bidding room. South has already showed his hand, showing both minors, and the fact that you have 1 fewer trump than you already promised is probably, a big no-no for trying to save. So that went for 800. At the other table, a diamond by south and more normal 1 spade overcall by west. North-south bid all the way up to 6 diamonds. And went down 1. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like the contract probably just isn't making on the King of Spades lead. Otherwise, Declare could set up a pitch on the King of Hearts for their spade loser, and we'll still have to guess the club suit. But if they do that, then they can bring the clubs home for no losers. Then board 19, we had a 1 spade opener by west this time, 2 diamonds. By east, they bid up to 4 spades. I'm going to quickly look through this one because there was a game swing, probably based on the play. It looks like Declare has a spade loser, a heart loser, and a diamond loser off the top. I mean, you can take the kind of backwards finesse and diamonds. That's what it's called, right? The backwards finesse. Lead the jack, queen, ace, then play low to the 9, basically. It's like 25% rather than 50% to bring home the suit, because you need both honors in the right positions. But looks like they went down at this table. The other table got to 4 spades and made it. And then we have a 10-imp swing the other direction, where in this room, north opened a heart, rebid 2 diamonds, played there, and the other room opened a heart and rebid 3 diamonds, and that did vault them into the heart game, which Well, the hands fit great together, and the diamond suit is 2-2. So the heart game came home. But okay, 2 spades been made while we were getting caught up. Hey PJF, Wolfman is having Tarzan for breakfast. I think we might be past the Tarzan jokes, considering Tarzan and Jane aren't playing today, but yeah, your heart's in the right place. So, board 22, pass. West thinking, come up with a new theme? Yeah, we'll work on that together. Oh no, Craig sent me a giant text dump. I am not going to read that, but he's supposed to be joining us in a few minutes. A diamond, or spade 2 diamonds. Looks pretty normal so far. I wonder if West was thinking about not opening a spade. That was the hesitation, pass in third seat. Might have not wanted to make a lead director with such a bad suit. So, a spade, 2 diamonds, pass, West thinking, but with just a minimum opener and nothing really to do, elects to pass it out. And we do get the Queen of Spades lead, so it's kind of funny where sometimes in third seat, with minimum values, it's useful to make a lead directional bid if you have one available. I mean, in this case, I would absolutely open a spade. Spades is the master suit. If we have a spade fit, we need to find it so that we can compete. So I wouldn't do it with this type of hand, but switch the major suits, and maybe opening a club has some merits at the very least. We need a theme where it becomes a close contest. Will lineup changes make a difference in the second half? So I expect Bernal and Wolfson to be sitting out for the second half. Maybe one of them will play in the third quarter. But I'm not convinced that there's going to be an expected 60-imp swing in one direction among the other pairs. Because I think the Bernal team has most of the Italian national team, or at least very strong pairs from Italy that are playing. And the Wolfson squad is like Joe Grew, Brad Moss, one of the best American pairs, as well as... who else do they have? Oh, Zia and David Gold. So again, another very, very strong pair. But, I mean, almost anything can happen, especially even if like a bunch of pro players are playing against each other who are expected to have a fairly average set. They tend to be pretty good about generating results in one direction or another. So it could be an exciting match to watch at the very least. So in 2 diamonds, Steve Garner. This is Steve Garner, right? Yes. So Steve Garner just gonna stroll through, and he has a heart guess, it seems, for an over trick, but he does have his 8 tricks locked up in this contract. Maybe he doesn't even have a heart guess. He can just exit a club here, and East-West are going to have to break the heart suit for him. So, East on lead, probably just counting out the hand now to make sure that he knows it's correct to play a low heart, but Well, I suppose even if Declare misguessed, it wouldn't have mattered in that end position. Dummy had 2 black winners, and West had the stranded King of Hearts. Alright, so plus 110. Maybe a bit of a flatter hand. But we could have said that on board 21, just playing a relaxed part score and making your contract would have been fairly flat, but it did pick up 7, as the other room ended up playing in a no trump in the north and going down 2. North with a bit of an off-shape no trump, but it's within the right point count. Oh no, Craig needs instructions. Sure, yeah. So, let me get something set up for just a second. There we go. Yeah, that's probably the best that I can do on that. So hopefully Craig will be joining us shortly. And we're back into board 23. Now, I don't know how long the dinner break is. I haven't been doing quarter 2 commentary for this stuff. Close the windows, put the cockroaches away. That is a very important piece of the plan. Get rid of the cockroaches. 1 imp difference. Aha! The overtrick mattered. Steve battling hard for his 1 imp win on that. 2 diamonds made 2 at the other table. So, South with this hand being hyper-aggressive. Oh, maybe South isn't being hyper-aggressive. North was the one who showed a super accept of the spade transfer with 3 clubs. Which does make South's hand a lot better. Now that you have a 9-card spade fit, a fairly weak side suit can often be set up pretty easily via ruffs in the other hand. Well, this is going to be very friendly for Declare. Even if he decides to take some sort of safety play, like laying down the ace of spades next, which is, might be the right line. Yeah, he's going to be making 6 pretty comfortably. Like, you can definitely rough a club to get to the dummy and take a spade finesse if you want, but I would be a little nervous about shortening myself in trumps. One of the few ways that we might go down in this contract is if spades happen to be 4-0. Did he did he really play a spade to the 8? Hold on. The good old practice finesse. I don't think that's what happened. I think the view graph operator got things wrong. Okay, 12 tricks. So Declare pulls trumps and claims. Everyone's favorite pastime. But things have settled down a little bit, it seems, at this table. We stopped getting doubled in contracts and going for large numbers, and yeah, we got 7 boards to go. So on to board 24. Oh my. North has a big hand. South doesn't exactly fit very well. The Jack of Diamonds looks like a nice card. And the 10 of Hearts is kind of a nice card, but no entries to the South hand. Is that true? I guess you can make 11 tricks in hearts. You lead the queen of diamonds. If they deny you an entry, then you lose no diamond tricks. So they have to win the king, and then the jack of diamonds is an entry to take the heart finesse. Anyway, I would be a little shocked if North kind of overforced his hand and reached a slam. Maybe South will. It wouldn't be that surprising from my perspective if a sponsor in South decides that they have an 11 count and his partner has done a lot of bidding on the auction. Because, so it starts a heart, 2 spades. South elects to pass. Probably fine. I'm not convinced by the pass. Like, I think it's okay, but again, I feel like you're kind of shooting for this very narrow target. It's like pass works when the auction continues pass, pass, double, pass, 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 and it might still not even be great. Like, sure, you have 3 spade tricks. But, you know, presuming your partner has a decent opening hand with some values, you'll probably get 3 tricks outside. You'll be plus 100. Maybe you're plus 300, but it feels as if a lot of the time you're going to be making a game. So I might bid something like 3 clubs over 2 spades. You know, maybe a bid like 2 no trump has merits as well. Anyway, North-South did not get too high, so they managed to stop in 4 hearts. Looks pretty good. Now, on the Queen of Spades lead, we might make a ton of tricks. I suppose I hadn't really considered that East had to find a lead against some contract. And especially given that spades have been bid and raised, it feels fairly normal to just lead the suit. So Queen of Spades, King of Spades to pitch a diamond, you know, in case something really terrible happens. You say making 7. I mean, we're only in 4 and it's imps. It might make some sense to just take the heart finesse at trick 3, but Declare elects to try the diamond hook. I'm sure that there was more or less no concern on Declare's face when he led the Jack of Diamonds. Like, even if the Jack of Diamonds goes to East King and then East gives West a diamond ruff, I think you're still losing at most a heart from that position. Either way, feels pretty safe to choose either line, and Declare is going to wind up with all 13 tricks here. So, looking at board 25, at least the pace of play at this table has been fairly swift. Okay, well, Craig apparently is lost or can't figure out how to come join. We'll be done with the second quarter by the time he arrives. Then I might have to get some lunch. Since I did just wake up, I will need to eat something in between quarters 2 and 3. I know the players get a break, but I'm not sure exactly how long the break will be. North thinking hard about opening does put a club on the table with his 12 count. So East comes in with a heart. South should pass. I don't see any reason to do something eccentric like raise to 2 clubs or even make some sort of preemptive 3 club jump, and there's nothing really else South can do. So what is West gonna do? Probably just 1 no trump. Feels like enough. You could bid 2 no. I mean, the 11 count is nice. You know, a good enough club suit that you're happy if North leads a club into you, but you're also happy if North doesn't lead a club. It's still going to represent a few tricks. You do have a side diamond suit. The doubleton heart can be useful for setting up partners' hearts. But 1 no feels about right. And now East just has to decide, you know, is there some potential that game can make? He thinks there is, with a good 5-card heart suit of his own and close to maximum values. So West should have a pretty easy time raising to 3 no, and he'll play it there. They don't make 3 no. Is that always true? So if North leads a club, yeah, on a spade lead, they would not make 3 no. Oh, North does find the spade lead. Yeah, the club lead would let them make it. They just have 4 hearts, 4 clubs, and the ace of spades. But 3 no looks like a good spot. If anyone is short in hearts, it's probably North. Well, maybe that's not entirely true, but North did open a club. Ugh, I need something to drink. Do I have anything to drink? I think I have like sodas. I'll wait until lunch. But even if North doesn't find the club lead, like hearts might just come home for 5 tricks. So I was just thinking like North is more likely than South to have the heart jack, and North is more likely to be short in hearts, so just banging the heart suit from the top is very likely to succeed. Well, spade to the queen, 10 of spades return. North just making sure that that nothing goes wrong here, overtakes the 10 of spades with the jack. Obviously South could have had a doubleton, so he needs to do this, but if he was worried that had he played the 8, his partner would have like switched to clubs rather than continuing spades, this is something that needed to be done. So 3rd round of spades. North has an idle diamond to throw on the 3rd round of hearts. I was wondering if there was any way North was getting like triple squeezed, holding on to all of the missing cards. That does happen sometimes. You know, you open the bidding and the opponent's bid to a game, you have all the values, and you end up having control or protection of multiple suits. But not the case here. If Declarer was able to duck a trick somehow, to have 1 more loser, or 1 less loser, would that even work? No, it still just wouldn't matter. It still just wouldn't matter. I don't know. When you first saw North's name, the R and N turned into an M. Gamer? You wondered what sponsor would play with a gamer? Lots of sponsors like gamers, I'm sure. A declarer might be thinking about cashing 3 rounds of clubs and then playing heart to the 10. I think that's probably a very bad choice. Because you might end up down 4. Like, you play 3 rounds of clubs, you play heart to the 10, South wins, and then North's hand is high. And vulnerable, that's not something you really want to risk. Also, I just think it's anti-percentage. You know, North led a low spade. Seems very likely North has 4 spades. So North is very unlikely to have Jack 4th of hearts in addition to the 4-card spade suit. But declare is going to think about it. So, like, as long as you go King, Queen of hearts, if nothing good happens, you can just go Ace, King, Queen of clubs and cash out. You're going to be down 2, but minus 200 won't be a disaster. And now we sit and wait. I think I jinxed us. I said that the play was proceeding relatively quickly at this table. But maybe that's just because Steve was declaring a few hands. Is that true? Yeah, Steve declared 4 hands in a row. 5 hands in a row. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Declare is cashing all of the clubs. Ace of clubs, King of clubs, Queen of clubs. I'm not going to speculate on what sponsors could be thinking about. He might have been wondering if the 7 of spades was high, or what to have for lunch, or whether or not it was his turn to play. Not familiar with Bernal. Now, South did give club count on the first couple of clubs, which means if declare was paying attention, they should be well aware that the clubs are 4-4 between the North-South hands. You know, couple that with the what I think is a mostly marked 4-3 spade split with North having the long spades. There's no reason to play a heart to the 10 at this point. But we're about to find out. Declare will get a trick in the end, as long as he's careful. If a heart does run around to the 10, he'll end up with his Queen of diamonds as a trick. So it won't be the end of the world, just down 3. Still in the tank about this. I'm pretty sure what's going on here is that a declarer is probably thinking, how is it possible North doesn't have the Jack of hearts for their opening bid? And if he's carefully counting the high card points, you know, Ace, King of diamonds, King, Jack of spades, that's 11. Jack of clubs would be 12, and that's already enough for an opening bid from North, no matter what your opening bid style is. I think a lot of us would probably open this hand without the Jack of Clubs. So shouldn't be... Yeah, I don't think that playing a heart to the 10 has a lot of merit, and Declare works out the right thing to do. Not going to be rewarded for making the right play, unfortunately, but there was nothing that could be done about this contract. At least he might save a couple of imps. I do expect 3-no to be the contract in the other room. 3-no made in the other room. Completely different auction. So in that room, North opened a weak no trump, East made a penalty double. North, which passed around, North redoubled as like a rescue. South got to 2 clubs. West doubled 2 clubs for penalty. And East bid 2 hearts, West bid 3-no. And now we're probably going to see the club lead. And we do. So after this club lead, 9 tricks is pretty easy. Declare can just win, cash out the clubs, pitching all the spades, and play a heart to the 10. And that will be the end of the hand. So kind of unfortunate, I would say, for West in this room. They had a bit of an unfortunate system loss, if you could call it that. The other room, they found a club fid, and that made the club lead a bit more attractive. And then here, I think they had a good auction, but Steve Garner in the North just found the right opening lead, got a bit lucky, hitting his partner with Queen 10 third in the spade suit. Probably less than he would have needed, though, for a club lead to be successful. So, okay, East opens 2 diamonds. That looks like Flannery to me. 4 spades and 5 or more hearts. Minimum opening values. 2 diamonds, 2 hearts. You can try a top diamond, but a big concern is that those might be your only stoppers in the opponent's suit. So I think, like, once you've found your fit, you may as well just lead that suit and try and set up as many tricks as you can. Like, it could be a race to knock out the opponent's ace-king of clubs before they knock out your ace-king of diamonds. So, yeah, like, you can lead a high diamond, but a lot of your ability to set up the club suit goes away. And you know your partner's weak. So it's not like you can lead a diamond and then find your partner's suit, switch, and they only have 1 stopper. You're pretty certain the opponents have multiple stoppers in the suit that you have. In this case, your suit's spades, but I'm not sure that leading the ace of diamonds would get a spade switch. Looking at that dummy. East is thinking about it. He does have an exceptionally good hand, extra heart length, a bunch of aces, a singleton. So he gives the bump to 3 hearts. I would be surprised if West doesn't continue on to the game. Like, originally, West didn't need to have any values for the 2-heart bid. 4 hearts can make has been claimed. You have a diamond loser, a club loser, and a spade loser. And how does 4 hearts make? The spades are not positioned in a friendly manner, because Declare will need to ruff. Oh, no, of course 4 hearts makes. Declare just takes 2 spade hooks. I forgot. They'll need to play the trump suit in the normal way, just cash the ace-king with a 9-card fit. But yeah, 2 spade hooks and ruff a spade in the west hand. We got Michael Kamil saying, I hope you have better luck this time, to his partner. High club lead does give Declare the option of taking like a roughing hook in clubs to maybe pitch a diamond loser. He's going to need entries to the west hand to do that, though. So I still think on a diamond switch, Declare's best line is going to be to just pull trumps and take 2 spade hooks. Wait, no, see, okay, this was what I was concerned about. West doesn't have 2 entries. Chat, don't do this to me. I was thinking that West needed entries to take these spade hooks. Okay, so let's get back to the question of how does 4 hearts make? Like, let's suppose North switches to a diamond, right? Which, it's not obvious he will switch to a diamond. They do, the King of Hearts and Jack of Hearts, but that Jack of Hearts entry is the last trump. You need to ruff a spade. So, like, if you go Ace of Hearts, heart to the King, spade hook, heart to the Jack, spade hook, that's great. You've collected 2 spade tricks, but you have nowhere to put the 4th round of spades because you've wasted your 3rd trump. Unless I'm missing something. So a reasonable line of play for a Declarer would be to play a heart to the Jack. That would generate an extra entry to the west hand. What about spade towards the 9? Aha. Okay, well, we're not going to figure out what Declare would have done because North switched to trumps, and that is going to give 2 entries in the heart suit. Spade towards the 9. Yeah, spade towards the 9 would do it. That would get the extra entry. You'll have to be brave and play for split spade honors. So it's a bit less good than like taking 2 spade finesses to try and pick up the suit. But if it goes spade, low, 9, queen, you then have to go ace of spades, run the jack of spades for a roughing finesse. But that would work. I was actually kind of thinking, what happens if on a diamond switch, Declare just goes ace of diamonds, diamond? Because if the opponents continue diamonds, that can set up the diamond suit in West's hand. And if the opponents play clubs, that sets up a club pitch. Now you don't need to ruff a spade. And if the opponents play spades, that's obviously good for you. And if they switch to hearts, maybe you can manufacture 2 heart entries. So I think it's possible that that there was a different option available. Okay. I think I would take the roughing hook in clubs now. You guarantee a loser 2 pitches. So the diamond loser goes away, even if the club hook loses, and then you can pitch a spade, ruff a spade, the trumps have split. It's, 100% line. If you take a spade hook right now, you're definitely risking the contract. But Declare could be fixated on his original line of play, which was to take 2 finesses in the spade suit. So We'll see what he elects to do. Wolfson is really running away with this event, and I am kind of concerned where my co-commentator went. I think he must have got lost. I have not heard from him in a while, so looks like I'm going to be going solo today once again, which is all fine. I know everyone tunes in just to see Craig, but you'll have to make do. Eaten by a cockroach. I don't think... Are there a ton of cockroaches in Louisiana? There might be. What? Wait, low spade to the 9? Okay, hold on. I am mildly concerned at this point that Declare forgot that there was another high spade out, but okay, he claims his 10 tricks. Well done, well done. Probably a decent result. I would be a little shocked if they didn't end up in 4 hearts in the other room, but it will be played by East, I suspect. East opens a heart, West bids 2 hearts. North might make a takeout double over that. Probably does. My guess is East just blasts game, having found a fit with all these aces. Hey Bugkitten, here for your daily dose of interested puzzlement. Happy to have you. So, pass by South, West opens a club. We see a spade overcall, we'll get a negative double from East. And how strong of a raise should South be making here? Probably just 2 spades is enough. But if they have some sort of like transfer advances over a takeout double, they might utilize that, so South could bid 2 hearts to show like a constructive raise to 2 spades. Some people might use both clubs and hearts to show different types of limit raises though, but it looks like we do get the 2 heart bid from South. Super exciting. 3 hearts from West. Probably a good bid. No wasted values in spades. Has a singleton, full opening values. West's hand has basically just gotten better as the auction's gone on. I mean, 4 small spades isn't great, but at least he doesn't have any high cards in that holding. 4 hearts makes and 4 spades is a good sacrifice. Is that correct? We have a spade loser, a heart loser, and maybe 2 spades and a heart to lose in 4 hearts. Because if the opponents start with 2 rounds of spades, tapping East, you might not... You can pitch 1 spade on the 5th club, but you might end up losing the 4th round of spades. Still, I mean, I imagine 4 hearts is probably going to make. It's not an easy contract for Declare to play. Steve Garner elects to double, which I totally understand. He has this, like, what is it, 13 count his partner showed a constructive raise, so he knows that their side has about half of the high cards. He also knows the opponents are very likely to be in a 4-4 heart fit. East didn't do anything over 3 spades, so like the auction from West's perspective doesn't make any sense. And I think he's mostly doubling based on the fact that West's bidding is kind of crazy. Like East showing no more encouragement, and West says, well, I thought I was making 3 hearts, and now I think I'm making 4 hearts. Rare possible pickup for Bernal. Is the comeback about to start? Well, we're not there yet. because I'm not convinced that Declare is going to make the contract. He's taken 2 tricks, he has 5 clubs, gets him up to 7. 8 from pulling trumps. Oh no, he just has 10 tricks. He pulls the last trump, takes 5 clubs, and then cross roughs 2 tricks, loses 1 in the end. It might have been interesting if Declare was trying to play for an over trick. It might have also been interesting if Declare got worried and concerned that trumps might have been 4-1, but probably not something that West was thinking about too hard. He was just looking at the hand and said, well, let's pull trumps and run the clubs. So yeah, this could be a pickup. At least we hope. You know, it's a 78 imp lead right now for Wolfson. They've had a massive set this quarter, picking up 42. They were already well ahead, but the match is starting to get out of reach. Okay, I'm actually concerned about Craig. I need to find out, like, did he get trapped? Maybe he got pulled into a match or something. I mean, he is playing the Swiss today, the side Swiss or something, whatever it is, the national Swiss. So he might have come back from lunch, found out that his teammate needed to leave or something and had to sit in. Long tank from Steve. Got a better offer? That's probably what happened. Yep. I'm sure he got a better offer. Four hearts in the other room was a push board. I'm a little curious about the play. Seems unlikely. No, it's absolutely likely that he got a better offer. I mean, who would want to sit here and watch a bunch of clowns play bridge on the internet? No one does that. So we did get the auction I suspected in the other room. A heart, pass, 2 hearts, double, 4 hearts. We got a club lead. North won the 10. We got a spade return, and that probably ends the hand immediately. Because now Declare can just take the spade hook. That gives him the extra entry, and with the hearts splitting. Whoa! Low diamond? What is this low diamond play? What is a low diamond? Is that the real play that was made? What is a low diamond? Did he misclick? I think they're playing with actual cards. What the hell is a low diamond? What is he doing? What is this ace of diamonds? Are we just playing on a cross rough? This isn't scary at all? Roughing with the 5 of hearts? What is going on? Now we play the ace of hearts. What was that line of play? Can anyone explain it to me? No, don't even try. Is bridge anything like Mahjong? So I don't know a lot about Mahjong. No twittering of the sparrows? Is that the actual technical term in Mahjong? Twittering of the sparrows? That actually sounds awesome. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with Mahjong stuff. I do know that you're trying to make collections of things that score you points and whatever. I would say that there's like, you still have this aspect, and in basically all these games, you have this aspect if you need to like visualize different things. I mean, in Mahjong, you don't know what tiles your opponents have, right? That's when you mix up the tiles at the start. See, it is a cool thing. Mixing up tiles is a lot of fun. It's like very ASMR, but with your hands. At least I recall that. I used to play dominoes with my grandparents when I was a kid. But yeah, like in Mahjong, there's still this like whole visualizing thing. You need to make guesses, I assume, about what tiles your opponents can hold and that sort of thing. But I'm not familiar with the play of the game. Whoa, we get another Flannery opener. This time, this one's a little exciting. Both Bridge and Mahjong can be played as gambling games. I think everything can be a gambling game. So what do we do as East? It might be sensible to just bid 4 hearts. But is there any way that slam can be good? So West would need the ace queen of spades, right? Because we have a 9-card spade fit. King 6 of hearts. A stiff club and the diamond ace. Okay, Craig did get distracted. He found a better offer. Like, I suppose it's possible, right? Especially if West can have hands with like a club void, then you're looking at like some 9 counts are going to be good enough. Not this 9 count. This 9 count is not good enough, and 4 hearts happens to be down. But in fact, 4 hearts may easily go down 2. We get, you know, the ace of clubs lead, a club ruff, a diamond to the ace, a club ruff, and then the king of hearts is a trick. Now, I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I would probably lead the ace of clubs against this auction. So that's what I'm thinking might happen. But South elects to go with their singleton spade, which hasn't really cost yet. Yeah, South wants a ruff with king doubles and a trumps. It's, you know, when people play Robot Bridge, they get invested in getting all of these ruffs. It's, I think it's probably the wrong thing to do, but it has some merits, you know. One of the reasons I wouldn't lead a spade is just because it's the opponent's suit. Like, if I had a singleton club here, I would absolutely lead my singleton club, trying to get a club ruff. Because West could, of course, have the ace of hearts on the auction. Thoughts on playing the ace of clubs versus ace of diamonds if I'm on lead? Okay, now it seems like South has lost his way. Returning a trump here. Like, if your whole plan is to lead your singleton to try and get a ruff because you're hoping they hook into your king, then you shouldn't, like, after they hook into your king, return a trump. So that is probably going to be a pickup for Bernal. I mean, it's got to be. There's no chance 4 hearts makes at the other table. The question is just how many is it going to go down? The double only costing 5 imps on the previous hand. But so, okay, back to your question. Rather lead the ace of clubs or ace of diamonds. I mean, my simple analysis in general is like, I just want to find a layout where we can beat the contract, and I think partner having a singleton club is the most likely layout, right? Ace of clubs, club ruff, we get the ace of diamonds, maybe we get the king of hearts, and then that's 4 tricks. So if I lead the ace of diamonds, I'm basically playing partner for either a singleton diamond, which is less likely than the stiff club, or partner's going to need some good diamond values. And West needs to not be short in the diamond suit. So IMO leading from the long suit is better in this case. Oh, LOL. Apparently, Craig also cannot join on Discord because the hotel internet is shit. So, rest in peace, my friend. You'll be missed. So 1 club, 2 clubs inverted on this hand. North bids 2 no trump. My guess is that's showing just like a minimum hand. I'm not sure. Was this announced as... No, it just says inverted. So some people play inverted as game forcing. Some people play it as just invitational plus. South, of course, is going to be game forcing no matter what. And we get a raise to 3-0. So what do we lead as East? I wouldn't be surprised if East leads a spade. But he does elect to go with his longer major suit. Chooses a heart. I was just going to say that, like, oftentimes defending against 3 no trump, you're mostly hoping to lead from a 5-card suit, because that, I mean, for starters, you have the potential to just take 5 tricks in that suit some of the time. And if you don't have a 5-card suit, maybe your best hope is to hit partner's 5-card suit. Does North work with South and East work with West? Yes. In fact, what's going on right now is North is playing cards for both himself and his partner. So let me... Oh my god, how do I do this? How do I kibitz? Here we go. So this is what... Oh no, it flipped all the hands. I'm sorry. Well, so things have been reversed. But this is what North sees right now. So South's hand gets face up on the table, and South doesn't do anything at all during the rest of the hand. He was participating in the bidding, he bid this 2 club thing, and then he bid 3 no trump, but after that he just puts his cards face up, and all 3 players can see it. So, you know, from West's perspective, this is what it looks like. Here's the South hand, and from East can see this. So this hand down here at the bottom is just face up on the table, and North gets to decide what to do with his partner's cards throughout the rest of the play. Which is kind of nice. I mean, it basically means that you get to see 26 of the 52 cards, and so if you can get any information on one of the other player's cards, then you can deduce what the 4th person has. Yeah, that is exactly what's going on. So what has Declare done? Declare's gone after the club suit. You know, the heart lead didn't really work to set up enough tricks for East-West. Eventually, they might be able to set up the 4th heart, but by that time, Declare will have established his own club winners. So Declare should be making this. He'll eventually get to 3 spades, 3 hearts, 2 clubs, and a diamond. West continuing hearts, but after a club to the jack. Whoa! Who's playing this? Steve! What are you doing, bud? Well, that's a disaster. Didn't he, like, win the heart lead in the north hand and lead a club to the queen, and then win the next heart lead and lead a club to the 9? Don't we just play for one of the 2 club honors in the east hand? Very strange. Very strange miss by Steve Garner on that one. Well, they played in the other major fit, which on board 28. So they got to spades instead of hearts. Oh, that of course makes sense. West didn't even have an opening bid at this table and yet chose to open Flannery. But yeah, so big swing for Bernal, which is much needed, and this might be another big swing for Bernal, because 3-no trump is, of course, absolutely cold on any lead. Well, the match is going to get closer. So pass. A little shocked at South's pass. Anyone else concerned that South with an 11 count, 4 good spades, and a singleton didn't open? Pass, West gets to do something. Craig has managed to make it on Discord. Maybe he will join us for the last hand. Probably not. You're here, finally. Yes, finally here. Well, we've had an exciting quarter. We have been watching both of the sponsors duke it out against each other. 52-26 has been the tally so far. So 3 passes around to North, who does elect to open. His 14 count, a heart by East, negative double by South, 2 hearts by West. Would not have been my choice. Maybe Bernal is concerned about what happened earlier in the match. Where was it? Board 18, where he was like, oh, well, Michael Kamil jumped to 3 hearts. It says I'm screen sharing, but you don't see anything. Yeah, you would need to join the voice chat on the left side. So if you can't join the voice chat, then you're not going to be able to see the screen share and also commentate. Which is okay. It's the last hand of the set. But thanks for trying. So 4 spades in the North. We eventually get there. We find a heart lead. Not that surprising. Would this have gone down on a diamond lead? It would. Very difficult, though, for East to realize that the king of diamonds is the right lead against this auction. His partner did raise his heart suit. Is it still going down? Oh, it might still be going down. Because Declare can get rid of one of his diamond losers. It's not showing you the voice channels in Discord. Are you in the Brady Bots Bridge Lounge server? So okay, what all is happening? If you can play clubs for 2 losers, you're all right. PJF says. Is that necessarily true? Because don't you get tapped out? maybe I don't think there's anything Declare can do. Hey, you're here. Hello. Can you hear me?
Terrible, because I've had a cold all week. At least I tested negative for COVID, but picked up something.
Okay. That sounds awful. I've turned your volume up. How's it going? Other than the feeling awful all week.
I don't know how we're doing in the Swiss, but we were above average when
Okay.
I set out. So.
That's not bad. Who's your team?
Chu, Olivia Shearson, Jay Barron, Mike Lipkin, and Stefan Skorchov.
Okay. I have heard some of those names before. Yeah, sorry, chat. I know he's still a little quiet, but I've turned him up as much as I can. I think he's like on his phone or something. Well, this has been an exciting quarter. Thank you for stopping in at least. And it does look as if Bernal has picked up a few imps down the home stretch to make the match a bit more respectable.
They're really getting up to that point.
But this last hand, I think, is going to be a bit too much for Steve Garner to manage. Like, even if he's able to pick up the clubs for 2 losers, I believe East can always switch to King of Diamonds and a diamond, and that kills the dummy.
Does that matter, though? Because if you... Oh, I see. Because then you would need a diamond.
Right.
Which is not
Yeah.
gonna get. Yeah, the 9 of spades becomes kind of annoying.
Yeah, well, I mean, not even just that. It's like, well, sure, yeah. The 9 of spades, if you rough 2 diamonds, is going to promote into a trick, and if you pull trumps, then you just get tapped out. So the defense can always hold them to 9 tricks if they're careful. I do believe Declarer's most testing line would be to lead a low club to the jack now. Because it might be the case that West's only defense to... Oh no, a low club to the jack, I mean, then that's just 3 club losers. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking West might have to find a low diamond shift, and that was going to be difficult, but that's not the case. So...
I mean, maybe, lead, like, if you lead this kind of dives in your hand, he's really, with the king, there's just no reason to duck that trick.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on, you want partner with the high-enders and the lane.
Yeah, exactly.
Play any of them.
Okay, he does try this 10 of diamonds idea. But I believe Michael Kamil will be up to the task of winning the king. And then it's probably simple enough for him to just play a trump. Obviously, a diamond continuation would be more than sufficient, but he might be worried that Declarer could have the 10 of spades.
I mean, even on it's fine.
Okay, let me see if I can adjust some other volume settings on my end.
7 upside down counts holding all 3 of the 8, 7, and 6.
How is that? Is that better, chat? Yes, we actually saw this the other day as well. Someone had like the 6-5-4 and played the 5 on the first round.
Yeah. Things are as hard as possible. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, with touching cards, like whether you're playing the highest or the lowest, you should always play one of the extremities for sure. Otherwise, partner is just...
he might have been worried that his partner was actually going to hand him a beer at the end of the hand, and so he he just needed to get rid of that 7 as fast as possible.
I veered twice in the pairs, and I believe I will never collect on them. My partner is going to her hardest to avoid me for the rest of her life.
Well, that's too bad.
Nothing bad. Nothing terrible happened, but just our personalities were not totally compatible.
All right. Well, Michael Kamil does find
So just gonna be that
defense of continuing a diamond, which is all but gonna shut the door for Declare.
Declare is gonna try. Declare is gonna consider ducking this. Like it would be odd, but they're taking longer than I would have expected them to.
I mean, East is the one who overcalled a heart. East has turned up with the King of Diamonds.
And West could have Queen 10, 9, third of clubs. But then... I see. So they would be down if East play another diamond, but maybe Steve has some reason to believe that East can't.
Yeah, well, if West has Queen 10, 9, third of clubs, then the 9 of clubs holds the trick, and then West can play a diamond. But...
All right. On the other hand, West might not know to.
I'm pretty sure he has the suspicion that the ace of clubs is offside, but there's probably just nothing he can do about it.
Tried ducking twice and hope Bernal isn't attuned enough to what's going on to put the ace of diamonds on the table, which is possible.
So, all right, Michael.
It's not
what
an
does
easy
Michael
play
do
to find.
here? I mean, he might be concerned right now that the only defense to beat the contract is for his partner to play the ace of diamonds when in with the club queen, and his partner might not find that. So he could be looking at leading hearts.
That's true, right? If he plays the club now, West better put the ace of diamonds on the table.
Yeah, so he's probably just trying to make sure that leading a heart right now isn't going to blow the contract when they do have and of course, legitimate line to set the contract by just his partner wins the queen of clubs and plays the ace of diamonds. But I don't think a heart costs anything. He doesn't know that his partner has the 10 of spades, but if he did, then a heart definitely doesn't cost, because South cannot rough in the short trump hand. Playing a spade back to dummy is mostly just going to force Declare to do the right thing. They'll just win the spade and continue a low club, and that happens to work, and then...
Yeah, the 9 of clubs popping up, I think, is not going to, stop him from just doing the normal thing of playing a low one. So... 3-0 with an overtrick at the other table. How did they get there?
To 3-0 at the other table. South opened a club
with a 4-4 spade that South. It's like a slightly unusual contract.
Okay. So South opened a club, a no trump, 2 clubs, alerted 2 diamonds, 2 spades, 2 no, 3 spades, or 3 clubs, 3 diamonds, 3 spades, 3 no. I have no idea what went on in this auction. But North showed diamonds and no trump, and South showed clubs and spades.
Yeah, so I guess North, they felt like he was being given a choice of games and chose 3 no trump. And I have to assume when South made the final pass that their 4-4 spade had been revealed, because presumably at least some of those bids.
Yeah, I agree.
Hard to imagine otherwise, although I mean maybe South past 3 no trump, figuring that they weren't going to take roughs in the hand since they were the one with all the trump honors.
Yep. Okay, so Michael Kamil does elect to continue a hurt.
I'm mostly like I feel like playing with a world class expert, he probably would not have done that.
Yeah.
Is up to the task here.
And PJF says maybe North denied having poor spades. With spades to the 8 in a flat hand. It's possible. I think North knew about the 4-4 spade fit. For sure.
A lot of the Italian methods have a lot of unexpected shape showing auctions. I'd be very surprised if this wasn't one of them.
All right, West got in with the Queen of Clubs and did find the Ace of Diamonds continuation, which was very well done. So 10 more imps to Bernal. The match is respectable.
On the hand, but
it is 40 going into the dinner break.